This is a Macaulay Tucker Show exclusive press junket. Today on the Macaulay Tucker Show, I'm speaking with two very special guests. We have Skinner, who is an extremely talented artist from Oakland, who's had his work on places like murals, covers, and even has worked with Adult Swim. And we also have Allen Cordell, an award-winning filmmaker, and we're talking about their brand new web series, Art Show with Captain Skinner. Think of it as Bob Ross in space. It is stunning, it is all over the place, it's a little wacky, a little bizarre, but we sit down and talk about this project to learn more about their experience, so sit back and enjoy. I was generously sent your project a couple days ago, and I had a chance to watch it. I was blown away. I love it because it's YouTube, and we need to watch things. We our attention span is very poor, so this was very rapid fire. But Skinner, I want to start with you. This project is very interesting because I realized in your life, you've talked about in the past how you as a kid loved fantasy and monsters and comics. And you kind of mentioned in past conversations that you use that as an escape from kind of like the chaotic, unpredictable childhood and that you had. And looking at this project, you are literally trapped, held against your will in outer space, forced to make art, but you are still cracking jokes. You're having a good time. You're finding joy, even in a situation like this. Now, I'm curious, placing yourself in this project, were you able to basically learn things about yourself while kind of putting yourself in this role?
Well, there's definitely parts that are me for sure being there, speaking. There's a lot of um, moment to moment being like, I'm sharing some honest thoughts sometimes. Like I'm really like, holy shit, I messed up my painting. Like, like I'm like there, like because we're for 2 hours straight. I'm basically just painting and talking the whole time. Stream of consciousness. Alan is helping me when if I'm too quiet because I'm trying to paint and catch up because we have like a time limit or whatever. Alan will help me by, giving me some fun facts or some ideas. Um, but there are a lot of moments that I'm just legitimately saying what's in my mind and my brain. And so it's kind of up to Alan to decide like what's, good or bad for the edit. And there are some genuine moments of me being kind of surprised and shocked at what I'm even doing. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? And so, you know, I mean, but yeah, we're all playing characters. It just depends on like how much we allow ourselves to relax or, be.
And I like how you worded that. We're all playing characters.
Uh-huh.
When we put ourselves in different jobs, we're playing, that character. You mentioned Alan and kind of the directional approach. And that actually, I'd love to ask you, Alan, a bit about your experience with this project. From your previous work that I've looked at, from what I have seen, it's very patient, very beautiful, almost contemplative, like in a way, the quality from what I'm seeing. And then you have this project which you said that you're drawn to things that are weird and beautiful. I've heard you say that before. And you've said that you're drawn to things that are weird and beautiful, specifically at 24 frames per second. I don't know where you mentioned that. It was a long time ago in an old interview. And I noticed you're actually doing a lot of that same stuff in this project. You've got the stop motion, you got things like that. So I wanted to ask you, was there a specific moment during the production where you kind of realized that directing Skinner actually required more directional control or even less to make things work out the way that we see it now?
Well, Skinner just brings so much to the table with his performance, I guess I would call it. That, giving him direction is just a matter of like being like, here, say this joke, or try to weave it back over to here, subject matter wise, or don't forget to mention the space cowboy. Let's do it here, and it's also like talking about the show beforehand, like telling him like I envision this like crazy off the walls bonkers bananas thing, and then and then just approaching it with that in mind and having a list of things that we want to hit during each episode, but letting Skinner riff, because he's just naturally very funny, and just yeah, and just working with what he presents me.
And you need to kind of have control over that a situation like this, because you want to make sure, like you said, you want to bring up things that you need to record and things like that. As a director, it can be a lot of pressure. I can only imagine you have a kind of a checklist in your mind of all the different things that you need to do. Watching this project, I think, is genius to set it up kind of as a YouTube series. People go on YouTube all the time to learn how to bake, learn how to cook, learn how to draw. And here you have a formula that's been working for how many years YouTube's been around. And now you kind
Mhm.
of have a little creative spin to it. You know, these little moments with that, you know, the space cowboy, things like that, where you're not expecting it. But people come in here and they maybe learn about drawing and they maybe get a laugh out of it.
Right.
I'd love to know what is your vision for this project? Are we going to have some perhaps some more storytelling through it?
I think for this season, it's going to be primarily focused on the drawing with a few elements here and there that are sort of narrative or story driven. If we do another season, I'd like to inject more of that into it and sort of build out the world more. But right now, we're just kind of just messing around, throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, and just having fun with it and being weird with it.
Those are the best. And you and Skinner actually worked on a project before this that you guys, I believe, worked on. It wasn't perhaps as bizarre as this one. I've seen a couple episodes of it, and I'd love to know what's the what are you guys seeing? Maybe Skinner, you can answer this, but what are you guys seeing between this project and the other one that you guys worked on? I guess production wise and just overall producing.
The other one took place, we shot it in an actual set. It was always aside from the scripted opening and ending of those episodes were mostly about Skinner talking and having a conversation with a guest. Whereas this one is like mostly just Skinner in front of a green screen. So it's just like we kind of had like permission to do whatever we wanted with this one, because it was like he's in space, like reality makes no sense. We can throw in a bunch of visual gags and just like, yeah, get weird with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that like in, the two, I guess, the diametrically opposed aspects are when I was doing the um drawing show and there would be like a celebrity or something on the show, so much of my energy was spent on trying to get them to feel comfortable, to have fun, to ask them questions, to do all this stuff. And based on who you get, and you get like maybe not always the easiest situation. And so with this one, I was just like, I told Alan, I was like, I just want to talk and bullshit for a while and like just have fun and see what that's like, because it's fun for me. That's it. And thankfully Alan can edit good and do make it funny, and he can like he adds a lot more. I mean, if you just listen to me yapping, it's like it's fine, but Alan is sort of fleshing out the idea and interpreting it in a cool way. So, better.
And you mentioned earlier just wanting to talk and so on. And in a way, it kind of works with this story in a way, because you are trapped in space. I mean, there's nobody around you in this area. I mean, there's a couple of creatures and so on and some weird things that happen, but it makes sense, this formula. And it's in a way, I'll say genius what you guys have here. And kind of wrapping up, something that was always on my mind, Skinner, while watching this is because you have a green screen, you're likely perhaps using the color green while you're painting and doing all this little work here. Like, was that a problem in the editing, I guess, for you, Alan, with the green screen and the coloring?
Well, it wasn't so much a problem for me, but it was definitely a problem for Kevin Fermini, who's doing all the compositing and a lot of the visual effects. And if we do a season two, I promised him we'll do it the right way next time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know what the hell I was like. We should have used a blue screen.
Probably should have used the blue
Sorry,
screen.
Kevin. Kevin, apologies.
Well, I am really happy with this, and I encourage those who are listening to this conversation to sit down, grab a coffee, grab a beer, grab some homemade lemonade or whatever you have in your fridge, sit down and watch this, and maybe even try to learn how to do it yourself, and kind of learn how to be a wonderful creative like Skinner and also like Allen here.